conversation around celebrating women because it's our International Women's Week. All through the week on the show, we've been celebrating and interviewing women to highlight the fact that despite all that happens around, achievements are still being carried out by women. Women are still making waves positively and causing a positive ripple effect across the economy. And there's no economy that could survive without women. That's the truth. So one of the things that Nelly Abogo has stood for over the past few years has been more about creating space that allows entrepreneurs to thrive. And I'd like to find out from you, how did you get into that? Like, what made you decide to create the product? You know, how did you become Naijabrandchick?
Okay, it started when I was trying to learn how to grow my own business. I run a food business where I started from my home, and I was looking for who to help me out to teach me what to do in business. I had worked in 9 to 5 for 8 years, and I was just coming out fresh. At the time, this was happening around 2011, 12. Like, I was not really getting anybody who was teaching just how to do it. And the only people I was seeing doing those kind of things were on social media, but in the US. So I have to pay for these courses, pay for these trainings, and stay all through the night. Now, one thing you have to understand that whatever they were teaching at that time was not connecting to what we are doing here in Nigeria. It was totally different. So I would take what I've learned and I will now try to replicate it in our Nigerian factor life and all that. And that was how it started. I was like, okay, what if I start to teach people how to do these things that I've learned? Because everything I had learned had worked for my business. I could see changes and people were actually asking me questions. So when I wanted to start, I was actually very worried. I didn't want people to think that I was teaching and because maybe I was not making so much money in my own business. So I started Naijabrandchick without a face. Yes, I was behind, I was faceless. I would do interviews, I'll do posts and all that stuff. And after a while, my husband was like, why are you hiding yourself? Just go out there, own it, and let people know this is what you're good at. And that was how I now put a face to myself and started on going live, educating people, teaching people how to use Instagram. I was consistent on using only one platform and teaching. So one day, someone made a statement like, oh, the people who have money are not on social media. That was them. In 2015, before COVID and all that stuff. And that thing actually really struck me. I'm like, it's true, Sha. So I asked myself, what are we going to do to get those people? My defense then was, oh, but their cousins and nephews and nieces are on social media. But in 2018, I took a bold step. I said, okay, even if they are not on social media, can we see how we can take our businesses offline and show them that even though we are small businesses starting from our kitchen, that we are ready to trade. So I said, okay, how could we do our first exhibition? In 2018, started what has metamorphosed to one of the largest and biggest SME gathering trade fairs in Nigeria. And that was just it. So from then onwards, it was just one location in Lagos. Now, last year alone, we went 9 different locations. And we took our businesses to London. And I want to say this. It was the first time of me going to London. I've never been to the United Kingdom before. In fact, when
she took people. How many people did you take?
76 people in total. We had 2 people. The many people did not get visas. We had 83 people. 76 people got visas. So imagine getting visas for people like you, who has never also traveled before, and we were doing it afraid. And even when I started talking about it, I had not gotten visa. People were like, okay, Nelly, have you gotten your visa? I said, no. I said, so why are you getting people? I said, it's just the audaciousness of a Nigerian business owner. And that is who I am. And I just felt like there's no reason why the UK government will want to reject me. I didn't do anything bad. All we want to do is to do trade. And, when I went to apply, I got the visa almost immediately. And I was like, okay, that's what I was expecting. So I don't know why people were thinking that, oh, you should be scared about that. But just being able to carry these business owners, and in 2 days, we made over £200,000 in sales in 2 days. We did crazy marketing. everybody felt like it was not going to be possible. Like, how are you going to navigate this? But we went there, we did it at Peninsula Ballroom, Intercontinental O2, not the normal just going to one side of the road. No, we went to a strategic place, and people were surprised to see Nigerian businesses at the forefront, you know, commanding the respect. People came there to sell crayfish. People came there to sell a lot of things, and they sold in numbers. And, you know, also, there were also some lessons that was also learned. One of the things that I come to realize that many people were tickled by the fact that they are going to sell their products and services in London, but they were not ready for the exposure or for what it takes to take your business global. And so those things that we have taken feedback, and we now said, okay, now this year we're doing again on the 2nd of August in London, 28th. This, we're even getting crazy.
As in, I saw your New York.
We're going to New York on the 5th and 6th of July, and also Houston, 27th, 28th, and 29th of June. And not only that, we're also going to Accra, we're going to Cameroon, and we're just like, you know what, we're unstoppable. Nigerian businesses will be heard all over the world, and I think it is our time.
I just love what you're saying. I just love it. You know,
Thank you.
Man.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Okay, let me find a question to bring that. So, taking the businesses out of Nigeria and bringing the products to Nigerians is the objective. So, is this supposed to be more affordable when they come with your platform, or when they get there? How do they, you know? If, for instance, I buy pomo from Nigeria and I'm in the UK, and I buy it and somebody just sends it, maybe when I spend 20,000, and then the Naijabrandchick event brings Nigerians and they're selling it at 25,000 or even 40,000. How does that encourage me to buy? Does that affect any of your business? Because I'm thinking, as you're talking about all these trips,
logistics.
I'm thinking of logistics
Yes,
and exchange rate.
So one of the biggest thing that we focused on was our exposure into the, you know, new access to market, right? And also building their personal brand. So the business owners were also, you know, informed about what it would take. Now, there are so many of them who have also followed us that had never ever had anybody bought from them internationally. So you buy from the people you already know, the big names. And those people are trying to, okay, how do I think I have a good product, but the people here are not saying it. So it was beyond just being profitable at that moment for them. It was, okay, I can do it. Next time I may not need to go through the trade exhibition. I can go on my own. Then we brought in a lot of all these African stores. They came for the fair, and they actually took some of these business owners, their products. They also exhibited in the London Fashion Week. Some of them, they picked them up from there. And so there was a lot of exposure that came up from there. So they sold, and there was a lot of exposure. And then, as I said, many of them have never traveled, so their passports is no more virgin. So do you understand that? So that's just one of the things, because the truth is that there are some times in your business, you not only think about the immediate costs of that particular, you're running your business. You ask yourself, how do you push your brand in marketing, in exposure? How do you get people to trust you? Now they don't need to, they have an account numbers in the UK, they can get, you know, all those things. So now it's easy for whoever is transacting to them, yes,
they can pay them in pounds.
Yes,
to
pay them in pounds, unlike before.
I wanted to ask, were you afraid of taking all these people and they would run away? Because a lot of times they disappear, collect visa from you.
Trust me,
they've experienced it, because they go with live band.
Come back.
I think that was one of the biggest fear I had. But one of the things that I have come to learn is that many business owners trust me. And I've also learned how to educate them. So when they were coming on board, I said, look at the bigger picture. You go and you exhibit and you come back. You can travel as much as you want when you go. Like, you don't need to travel and leave from here. You can go, come back. You are now mobile,
global citizen.
Yes, you know, and why will you want to close the door for this tomorrow?
People.
Not even for only other people, for yourself. Tomorrow you want to go to the US embassy to go and say you want to go for an exhibition. Your name, I will personally put your name that you are, you know, you are someone who they don't need to trust. So another thing again that we did, and I told them just to make sure that things are good. After we came back, I collected all the names of everybody, and I wrote a simple letter to the UK embassy and said, CEO, these are the people we went with, and we are
all of
back.
them came back.
Yes, it was very important to let them know that, see, we are trustworthy business owners. We just want to continue to trade, and that way, to me, I just felt like if tomorrow they on their own want to do something, doors may be open for them. You know, I had to preach to them that, see, stop seeing the cup as half full, half empty, but as half full. So if you go now and jackpot, what next? You spoil your name everywhere. And we did a lot of education. It took a lot. That was like one of the biggest fear we had, and that got me the highest white hair on my head. But at the end of the day, I'm happy that everybody came back. There's a time I really, even in the group, I said, hey, you guys, because we had to make sure everybody stayed in the same hotel, in the same Airbnb, everybody was together. At a time when some of them were trying to be sneaky and like, see, I'm carrying your name right now to the embassy right now. And, you know, but it ended in praise, and I'm really happy that everything went well. So, yeah.
Okay, so I want to ask you about your partnership with Lagos State.
Yeah.
Now, because a lot of times pre the election, there was a lot of comment that the Lagos State government does not, Igbo. They don't support Igbo businesses. There was a lot of division that was pushed, but you are not a Yoruba person, you're not a Lagosian, but you've been able to build a platform that the Lagos State government partnered with that platform. How did it happen? What was the connection you had? Who did you know? Who opened the door for you? Because we always expect that somebody must have.
No, nobody opened any door for me. And I'll start by, let me go a little bit further down. 2020, I was supposed to host a fair in Lagos. Before COVID, and I was in an event, and the governor, Governor Shomole, was there, and I spoke at that event, and he said he was going to support our fair. That was 2020. Unfortunately, COVID happened, but before that COVID happened, he did what he was supposed to do, and to me, that was just amazing. But
so that was how you met him? Was at an event?
No. It's not. So we partner with Lagos Tourism.
Oh, okay.
Through the special advisor. Okay. I'm just trying to say to you that I've never been that person who had issues with Lagos. Okay. I had my opinions as an Igbo person and who I wanted to, you know, vote for and all that in the presidency. But that's by the way. But what I was focused on was in Lagos State was I had this partner. I got a message in my DM that, hey, we want to work with you. And that was it. I went for meetings and I got to work with the Lagos Tourism, and it has been one of a very fantastic relationship. In fact, we are doing another one in April from 11th, 12th and 13th at Federal Palace Hotel and Balmoral, yes. So it's, to me, working with Lagos State Tourism and Lagos State as a whole has actually boosted the fair. Same with also working with Wema Bank. Wema Bank is also our headline sponsor. Working with them has also boosted the fair and made the fair even much, bigger, helping more business. And they also supported by, all those content creation we do on social media. They were giving money. The special advisor gave out money to support them and say, hey, I see you. You're spending so much money to make people come and buy from you. Let's look for how to support you.
Wow. I want to talk more about that because, one, I did not even know they came to your DM. I felt like maybe somebody connected you.
No.
We'll take a break. When we return, we'll dig more into, because there are many people that have ideas currently and they don't know how to start or how it can become big. And they're looking at you and wondering, how did she do it? So we really want to hear you share more on the trials and the triumphs. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.